Hello, I'm State Senator Tracy McCreery. Wanted to give you a weekly update. This week, my new favorite constituent, Drew Patchen, and his family came to visit. It was really great to see Drew and his family have a really special time here in the state capitol. Also, I had a bill heard in the Judiciary Committee this week. The bill would create the Cyber Crimes Task Force. And cyber crimes can be online stalking, and it's more and more common, unfortunately, because a lot more people have access to the internet and phones and things like that. As you can see with how the bill is laid out, we're trying to pull in expertise from both the private sector and the public sector. And ultimately, our goal is to make recommendations on what resources and tools are needed to stop cyber stalking and harassment in Missouri. I was able to get an amendment on a bill dealing with, the bill was about covenants, but I was able to get a non-compete carve out for hourly workers.
What this amendment to the amendment does is it's related to the Senator from Platt's underlying amendment, and it has to do with non-competes, but it's in a different section dealing with employees, and it's very simple. It just says that employees who are paid on an hourly basis are not subject to a non-compete.
One of my big frustrations is a lot of our neighbors who get paid by the hour and maybe work at a sandwich shop or fast food have been subject to non-competes, meaning they can't go up the street and work for another shop. So I think that people that get paid by the hour should not have to live by non-competes. Also, it was a big week in the Missouri State Senate. We passed a bill regarding corporate foreign ownership of agriculture land. So I certainly would love to see people from all over the world come and live and work here in this beautiful state of Missouri. But this bill would say that corporations that are foreign could not buy farmland in the state moving forward. So there's already hundreds of thousands of acres currently owned by foreign companies, but this would be a moratorium. No more could be sold.
This is about making sure that our constituents have what they need to sustain life. So access to clean water, to food, and to shelter, those kinds of things. And I think that it's best left in the hands of people, Missourians, or at least Americans.
This next week in the Missouri State Senate will be a really big week because it deals with, the Senate will be working on the budget. So some people think that the most important thing that state legislators do is to put together the budget. In the state of Missouri, we have to have a balanced budget. So we work very hard to make sure that we're meeting all of our basic needs and obligations. And I truly believe that our budget is a reflection of our values. I consider the budget a moral document. So I will be working really hard to make sure that budget, at least that my opinion on where we should be spending the money, is heard next week in the state Senate. There was appropriations hearings this week, and there was some really good news that came out of that Senate Budget Committee that we call Appropriations. They restored the funding for public libraries that the House of Representatives had cut. So that's a really big win for public libraries. And the Senate committee also removed all of that anti-DEI language, that anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion language. So that was a big win as well. So I feel like it was a really good week here in the state Senate, and thank you for tuning in.